Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Marty.
And I'm John Cena Sr.
It's that time of night, baby. SmackDown is done. The real fun is just starting now on Wrestling Insider's Fabulous Friday. Here's Johnny.
Wrestling fans, we missed him in Tampa, but have no fear. Demolition Axe, the masked superstar, one half of the greatest tag team in WWE history, returns to MWF Studios in downtown Melrose, Massachusetts for two big nights. Saturday, May the 22nd, Sunday, May the 23rd. Axe will be taping historical episodes of Wrestling Insiders along with live shows featuring cyber autograph signings. Demolition Smash signed a limited number of photos when he was with us in Florida. Axe can add his signature to give you a beautiful collectible. Head on over to bostonwrestling.com to pre-order yours now and keep wrestling legends working.
Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Marty.
And I'm Mr. USA WWE Hall of Famer Tony Atlas.
The road to WrestleMania has begun. Wrestling fans are looking to add to their man caves. You got to see what we have in the eBay store.
Check it out.
At WrestleMania 37, she proved she is the EST, defeating Sasha Banks to become the new SmackDown Women's Champion. Here's your chance to own this limited edition collector's autograph print, personally signed by Bianca Belair, one of only 50 made, direct from our friends at WWE. Also signed by original artist Rob Schamberger. Help keep wrestling legends working. Get this awesome Bianca Belair collectible for your wrestling collection now. Boston Wrestling Sports and the MWF explodes into a new year of unknown with professional wrestling content galore, and we need you to join our family. Every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. after we review the previous night's Monday Night Raw, it's Wrestling Insiders at your house with the unpredictable WWE Hall of Famer, Mr. USA Tony Atlas. Wednesday nights after WWE, NXT, and AEW at 10 p.m., you never know who's going to show up on Wrestling Insiders Special Edition. Every Thursday night at 10 p.m. after our NXT and Dynamite review, it's Marty Jannetty's No Holds Barred Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll journey through the 80s and 90s on Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty. Friday nights after the lights go down at the Thunderdome on SmackDown, it's John Cena Sr.'s Wrestling Insiders Fabulous Fridays. Plus, look for classic clips, bonus live episodes, pay-per-view watch-alongs, and more. If you want early, ad-free access to all of our Wrestling Insider talk shows, our acclaimed studio shoot interview DVD library, and to help keep wrestling legends working during the worst of times, for less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks, join our growing family at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. Expect the unexpected in 2021.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.
All right, wrestling fans, welcome to another all-new Wrestling Insiders Fabulous Friday Nights. Johnny, we are back again, baby. We're rocking, we're rolling, we're telling the stories. The fans, they feel the heat that comes out of that gun that's shooting. When you get on a roll, baby, nobody shoots like old John Cena Sr., baby. You're like John Wayne in an old Western.
Gets me in a lot of trouble, but you know what? It's just my opinion, and I'm having a lot of fun.
Well, we got Howard Miller in the back. We got Justin keeping an eye on things. We got the best staff in the business. Who knows? Cecil the Lion may even be joining us when New Jack is here live in studio Saturday night, May the 8th. We're going to be having a lot of fun. Autographs are available for pre-order at bostonwrestling.com. We have the WWE WrestleMania Backlash pay-per-view watch-along live Sunday night, May the 16th. That's going to be a lot of fun to see who is going to leave WWE champion from the Thunderdome between Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, and Braun Strowman. And then we have what could only be described as a doubleheader, Saturday, May the 22nd, Sunday, May the 23rd. One of my favorite people in professional wrestling, the legendary Demolition Axe, the masked superstar, here in the studio taping historical episodes of Wrestling Insiders. We're going to do some watch-alongs. We are going to do the live autograph signings with Demolition Axe as well. Smash signed some photos when we were in Tampa. Axe couldn't join us in Tampa as his car broke down as he was getting ready to go on a family vacation, and he had almost a Clark Griswold-like adventure, unfortunately. But you can get, if you go to bostonwrestling.com, a beautiful autographed 8x10 that will be signed by both. Axe will give you a shout-out live on the air, and we're going to have a heck of a lot of fun, Johnny, during the month of May as we honor and celebrate the great folks at Make-A-Wish. The Fabo Pop is available. The proceeds from the pop goes to the kids, because a lot of those kids, Johnny, it's horrible to say, but they've been waiting a long time for that wish to be granted due to coronavirus.
I'll tell you, it's, I have to take my hat off to my son. The wishes he's granted, and have had the opportunity when doing some wrestling shows to have parents come over and thank me for that ability for those young men and women, not only to see Cena, but other wrestling stars. It's just a wonderful organization. They do an awful lot. So please, again, I'm appealing to you. Let's get the pop out. Let's get the young kids out to get their wishes made.
And if health permitting, according to the government, they're always welcome at our events.
Amen.
They're always welcome
No
at our
charge.
events. One thing I don't think the fans don't realize that we like to do is the afternoon of our events, closed to general fans. We have usually a private event, a smaller event, for the kids from Make-A-Wish, for the kids from Special Olympics and so on. And that's one of my favorite things that we get to do. It costs us a little bit more. You got to pay more in rent. You've got the building, of course. My good friend down there, Moolah, is always looking for a little extra moolah in that office of hers. You know how much I love her,
I have no problem with her.
Yeah, well, I'll never forget the night Percy called her Moolah. I got a big kick out of that. But you know what? Even though it's a little added expense, it is a very nice thing we do. I know the great athletes on our roster get a fulfillment out of being able to give just a private time to these great kids. And I tell you, I don't even know if you know this, Johnny, but do you know where I got the idea from? And I don't know why the tradition ended, but once a year at Madison Square Garden, the afternoon of a WWF house show, they would do the same thing. They would have a private, live WWF event for kids from X amount of different charities. Certainly not 16,000 people, but several thousand kids would come out and they'd get a free wrestling show. And that's where I said, you know what, I always thought that was such a nice thing. I always said that was something I wanted to do, so we do it.
Maybe would be.
Hopefully this year, hopefully I should say November 13th, as part of our 20th anniversary, we'll be able to do that again. Who knows?
Maybe we should think about doing one day a year. It's a freebie just for those charities in the year.
That's tough because we'd have to go out of our way, and all of those expenses would be original. Where we do it the afternoon of an event we're already having, we have the wrestlers already coming to town, we have the ring already rented, we have the building already rented. Again, the rent's a little bit more expensive.
Yeah, but you're asking your people to perform twice. It's kind of tough. You know what? Do that one day. I'm sure we could find enough sponsors. There might be enough fans who are willing to help us out, get free tickets to the event as well. There might be a lot of ways to do this, but that's another story for another time.
Yeah, that's a conversation we could have off there. As always, one thing, Johnny, you are a man of many ideas. I want to ask, though, Johnny, Tuesday nights, we're still trying to figure out what the heck to do with the Tony Atlas time slot. We have been having fun re-airing some of the Tony Atlas classics from over the years with his episodes, but at some point we got to see if old Tony's going to decide if he ever wants to join us again, or if we need to find a new permanent co-host on Tuesday night. And one way we've been trying to do that is with the Wednesday night episode. As you know, Wrestling Insider Special Edition, every Wednesday night we have a different co-host on a rotating panel, and we had so many great guests down at Wrestle House in Tampa, TJP, the winner of the Cruiserweight Classic in WWE, on to legends like Demolition Smash, Barry Dasso, your buddy Dutch Mantell, Zeb Coulter, Al Snow we had a lot of fun with.
Nice guys.
But one episode, I don't know if you had a chance to check it out, we even had from the managerial ranks, where you're best known, the Sinister Minister James Mitchell, Smoky Mountain, WCW, ECW, TNA. I mean, a man that has seen it all from ringside, a unique perspective. I enjoyed the interview.
I'll be honest with you, Dan. I was a bit disturbed by that interview, and I really mean that.
Why?
All I could feel was evil. Nothing but evil.
You were disturbed by Jim Mitchell's interview.
Disturbed. Just rewind that. Listen to it. He's just very, very bizarre. Very, very evil. That's all you can feel. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
You felt evil.
Don't want to talk about it.
Well, it's a good thing I got the cross on. And I wish I did when I did the interview.
That was, I'm very disturbed by that. There's a lot of evil there. I don't want to talk about
All
it.
right, we'll talk about that off the air too, I guess.
Thanks.
All right, fans, big shakeup, Johnny, in the world of the WWE commentary. And I think that's a very underlooked at issue as far as the lack of interest in the product right now. I think a good announce team really enhances a great product. And despite what you may think of creative at times in WWE, I think they have probably the best group of physical athletes they've ever had at any one time on the roster right now. But by large, the commentary teams have been lacking. You know, I think Michael Cole is very good at doing voiceovers. I think Michael Cole is good at doing interviews. I think where Michael Cole lacks is that he's not very good at calling wrestling matches. He really doesn't know wrestling moves. He's not very good at getting personalities and storylines over. And he has now had Corey Graves taken away from him, who I thought was a decent pairing.
Corey was good, yeah.
And he's now put with Pat McAfee of NXT and NFL fame. And I just think he's a little over the top, and I don't think it helps Michael.
They didn't call me.
They should have.
I'm waiting.
I think Michael Cole is better. I don't know if it's Fox helping produce in certain ways, but I think Cole is better on SmackDown than Raw, for whatever the reason may be. I think Cole is better when he's with a very good partner. I thought he was much more listenable to when he was with Taz, when he was with my close personal friend, John Bradshaw Layfield. But, you know, when he's on there with someone that isn't that good, it's bad. And I don't think this pairing with Pat McAfee, who is new in green himself,
Ain't going to work.
I don't think it's going to be...
Not going to work.
It's not going to be a great soundtrack.
It's not going to work.
It's not going to be like Dirty Dancing back in '87.
No, because you're going to have to carry him. And it's tough enough because when you do commentary, it's both individuals carrying each other. And if you can't do it, if you put the burden on one person, it just isn't going to work. I'm not in favor of what they've done, but there again, it's just my opinion.
Well, and Johnny, to make matters even worse, what they have done over on Monday Night Raw. You know, I don't know what, we never really talked about it on the show. I don't know what you thought of Samoa Joe as a commentator, but I thought he was superb and gave it a lot of credibility as someone that was a in-ring competitor for several decades, a former TNA world champion. I'm sure he held championships in WWE, but they escape me. Everybody holds championships in WWE. That's
tomorrow.
That's part of the problem right now
Yep.
in the company. But, you know, he was removed from the broadcast booth to be put back in the ring, only he never had a match. He was just released. And now that Monday night team is Byron Saxton, who remains, who a lot of people don't like, but I think he has kind of a good personality for the role. Corey Graves comes over from SmackDown, who I don't think a lot of people realize was a wrestler in NXT before. I think he had concussion problems. And replacing Tom Phillips, who I thought was, I wouldn't put him on the level of Jim Ross, but I thought Tom Phillips wasn't bad. I thought he was effective in what he did, but replaced by Adnan Virk. And Johnny, he makes Michael Cole seem like Jim Ross from the Attitude Era, as far as his passion and knowledge of the business goes. I mean, you can tell this is a man that has never watched wrestling. This would be like me trying to do commentary on golf or NASCAR. I know in NASCAR the cars go around in a circle. I know in golf you hit the ball and it goes in the hole.
Maybe.
Other than that, I can't tell you anything about either thing. That's how I feel when Adnan tries to describe anything on Raw. Johnny, it's not just, it's so bad, it's laughable. It's horrible. This is one of the worst decisions they've made for the television show in I don't know how long. I mean, what do you think of the man? I've never heard of him. I guess he's a big baseball aficionado, so Adnan and I, we'd probably be good friends talking a little baseball, but I mean, he doesn't know what he's watching.
Well, because that's exactly right. You just hit my comment exactly. Don't put the man in the car if he doesn't understand how it works. And I think the biggest mistake they made was releasing Joe and not leaving him in commentary. Maybe Joe wasn't going to get the money, and maybe they figured, if he can't wrestle, he's not worth it. But he added a lot to that commentary because you had somebody who's been in the squared circle, like Layfield, like Taz, sitting there giving you the blow-by-blow and knowing what the hell he's talking about.
He's even admitted in interviews, he said, well, I'm a big baseball fan, and I travel a lot with work doing commentary, and I have 4 kids, and all but basically saying, I have never watched wrestling in my life.
Well, guess what?
And it shows.
Thank you.
And I think that, and I hate to say it, because I think this is a man that comes across very well every time he does an interview or a quarterly investors meeting, but the new WWE president, or the newer WWE president, Nick Khan. Nick Khan was the agent of Adnan Virk in a previous life before WWE, so obviously, what's 2 + 2? But if you're going to hurt your own product putting him out there, and you're not going to be able to get over wrestlers, wrestling matches, wrestling events, wrestling storylines,
what's the point?
What's the point of having him out there?
I agree.
mean, Michael Cole, at least before I knock his announcing, there are things that Michael Cole is very good at.
Yep.
I have no idea what Adnan Virk is good at.
I don't understand him. I don't know what he's talking about. I don't think he does.
He has no clue. He's never watched the product.
But it's a good thing he's got a headset.
Thank God, yeah. And I tell you this, usually when someone new is brought in,
Yep.
they bring them to the WWE studios, much like the studio here, and just to get them into the rhythm, they have them call. From what I'm told from a friend that works on the network side of things, sometimes hundreds and hundreds of matches just to get them into the routine of calling pro wrestling or sports entertainment, whatever you want to call it. They didn't even do that with Adnan. Adnan was just thrown out there on the biggest Raw of the year, the day after WrestleMania, to call something he had no idea what he was even looking at.
Well, it's evident. It's evident, and I think they have made a mistake. How do you undo that mistake? Good luck in your future endeavors.
And you always like to say, they want the youth, they want the Hollywood look. Well, I mean, nothing against Adnan, but
You can have all that, but if you don't know how to drive the car, what's the point?
Now, what I'm saying is, I don't think Adnan's going to be on the cover of GQ anytime soon.
No.
Just, I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall when the conversation came up to add Adnan Virk to WWE in that team. I mean, if you wanted to maybe break him in, having him maybe as a backstage interviewer. I mean, that's a little easier to give him a couple of questions that are almost like the women that just sit there. Are you excited about your match tonight? I mean, maybe that would have been a way to immerse Adnan in WWE. But to have him be the lead voice of your marquee show and debut him the night after WrestleMania, Johnny, it just shows to me there is a lot of, I don't even know how to word it. It's just, it's almost like they're putting SOS in the sand. Help. Because that's just a wrong time, wrong place, wrong guy. At a time when the ratings continue to
Plummet.
Yeah. Why? Can you find anything that I'm missing about Adnan Virk?
Nope.
Why
Nope.
Adnan
Nope.
should be there?
I have no idea. It's the first time, and again, we have many times, but I have no idea. I really don't. I can't answer that. Somebody higher up made that decision, and it was not a good decision.
No, it was not a good decision by any stretch
Nope.
of the imagination. Well, we can only hope that Adnan gets better because, not only do we work in wrestling and, enjoy wrestling, and myself, I don't know about you, a WWE stockholder, I want that going up. I want it
I'm
going
not
up.
as wealthy as you. I wish I could help you out there, but
Yeah. Well, Johnny, we want to send out our best to several of our fallen comrades recently. A man that joined us down at Wrestle House, a friend of mine, a man that, I know, has a lot of respect for you from our various conversations. The Hall of Famer Gerald Briscoe is down for the count right now after having knee surgery. Nothing too serious, which is good, but,
Get healthy.
That takes a lot of recuperation.
great man.
We
Good
enjoyed
words.
having Jerry at Wrestle House. His episodes are also going to be airing on Wednesday night soon. I think you'll enjoy them an awful lot.
He has a lot to say.
Another man, you talk about outspoken when healthy, the veteran from the Double Cross Ranch in Amarillo, Texas, Terry Funk, came down with the COVID, but apparently is kicking out, which is a good thing.
I tell you, I worked a show with Terry Funk. Let me tell you, I just want you to know, I've worked. He must have hated me because he worked stiff. I took some kicks from him.
He just worked stiff.
Whoa, man, did I take those kicks? But I'll tell you what, I have the utmost respect, and I mean this, nothing but love. What a wonderful person. And to be in the business and doing what that man is doing and has done for this business, get healthy quick. You're in my prayers.
I am told the man, even before this COVID struck, is in a lot of physical pain, obviously, from the way he worked his entire career.
Yep.
I think it'll be a travesty if we never have the chance to sit down and do an interview with the man.
I hope.
My one hope is he does, in the best of times, attend the Cauliflower Alley Club Award in Vegas. Maybe we could rent a nice little suite for a day and do an interview with him out at the CAC, because he really doesn't want to travel anymore. Even before COVID, he really didn't want to travel.
No, he kind of slowed right down.
He's in his mid-70s
I'd love
now.
to have him here for November 13th.
Wouldn't that be something?
I'll tell you something. I'd make an offer out there to him, but the best, get well quick, and again, honor, nothing but honor. True human being and sportsman. Another gentleman who puts the cards face up on the table.
I tell you, I think this is one you'd appreciate. Maybe 09. No, it wasn't 09 because that was the Billy Graham year. Maybe 2010 or 2011. At the Cauliflower Alley Club, at the casino, there's a TGI Fridays restaurant, and they kind of corner a little section off for the boys. I don't even remember how it wound up happening, but I wound up having dinner with Funk and Ken Patera. And
Two great
we had
guys.
So much fun, so many laughs. Patera was talking about all the stories from working the WWF territory, all the Springfield, Worcester Memorial Auditorium before the Centrum opened. He was telling a story, I guess, from the balcony, someone threw a chair and it hit him in the back of the head. And I mean, back in the days when it was violent to go to some
I
of
remember
these
that.
wrestling
Nets
shows.
over the ring in Boston Garden
Yeah.
to prevent the beer bottles and whiskey bottles. Oh, yeah.
I tell you, that was one night where I was starstruck isn't the word, but it was one of those nights where I said, you know what, for all the bullshit and the headaches and the stress that goes along with this is just fantastic. I'm sitting here having, almost like the third person on a date almost, just hearing Patera and Funk telling their stories, and I'm just sitting there having a hamburger and french fries, sitting along for the ride. I remember I was eating with Patera, and he knew I was from Boston, and that's how that started. And then Funk came in, and he wanted to talk with Patera, so he joined us. And it was just, I'm not talking about a 10-minute this went on for a couple of hours, and it was just, I had so much fun at that dinner with the two of them.
One show I did with him, and I got to tell you, I learned a lot from that man. I'm not one of these guys that's got a long relationship. That one time, I formed an opinion then. I'm sure he formed an opinion of me, but great.
All right, wrestling fans, now that I have got TGI Fridays fresh in the brain, we're going to take a brief timeout. We'll be back with more Wrestling Insiders. Stand by.
Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Marty.
And I'm Mr. USA WWE Hall of Famer Tony Atlas.
The road to WrestleMania has begun. Wrestling fans are looking to add to their man caves. You got to see what we have in the eBay store.
Check it out.
Support Wrestling Insider's in-studio shoot interviews on eBay with this brand new personally autographed WWE Royal Rumble 2021 11x14 poster signed by WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns, his advocate Paul Heyman, and Kevin Owens. Reigns and Owens battled for the Universal title in a last standing match January 31st in the Thunderdome in Tampa. This limited edition collector's poster is number 31 of only 50 produced. Comes with WWE authentication hologram on the poster itself. Also comes with an on-air shout-out from WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas and a bonus autographed 8x10 photo. Get this rare, awesome collectible for your man cave and help keep wrestling legends working now. All right, Johnny, we're almost going Hollywood right now. We have a photographer in the room getting some, I don't know if you're going to charge for these 8x10s.
Is this another shoot?
He's shooting as you shoot,
It's just my opinion.
or just in your opinion.
Justin's opinion.
Justin's opinion. Well, he's a man with a lot of opinions, Johnny. We talked about Jerry Briscoe overcoming knee surgery. We talked about
Terry Funk,
Terry
COVID.
Funk overcoming COVID. But not one, but two of our co-hosts on Wrestling Insiders have been hospitalized as well at the same time.
Now, who we got?
Oscar, believe it or not, had chest pains at an autograph signing in Indiana when he was with Ted DiBiase and Mike Rotundo. He was hospitalized. But to show you how much Oscar loves you guys, he still did his podcast from the hospital. That's a man that gives back to the fans and cares. I respected him for that. And for whatever reason, I said the audio sounded better from the hospital than it did your house. Maybe you should start booking the hospital room. You know me, I'm all hot.
Wow. Remember, and you talk about me. You get the wrong dude. Oscar's a wonderful human being. I hope he's okay.
He is. He's on the mend.
He's okay?
He's on the mend.
Good.
She'll be home by the time you guys hear this.
Well-
and his wife is a lovely lady too, Dreamy Mimi.
I had so much fun. I had so much fun with them the last time we got together. Hopefully we'll hook up again at some point.
Hopefully you'll be able to, on a more serious note, come with us one year to the Christopher Nowinski CTE dinner that they have, the Concussion Legacy in Boston. David Reese, as you know, our president, a great supporter. He usually gets a table, and he's always told me that you're a welcome guest. I think you'd really enjoy going.
It. Well, I got to make the Cauliflower Alley Club first.
I tell you, what a better way for me to celebrate my birthday a little early this year than to have it the week before in September. I think, I hate to say it, but that may be one of the few good things that comes out of it in COVID. I think the CAC was being affected by being so close to WrestleMania.
Maybe I'll bring Moniz.
Why don't you, she seems like a Vegas kind
When
of
they
girl.
going? When is it this
It's
year?
the second week in September.
Remind me. Set me up with that.
I'll email you the dates.
Yeah, I know that WWE is going to send me free.
Oh, really? I'll have to tag along with you.
Free? Yeah. Okay. You're free. Yeah.
But like I said, my goal is this year.
They weren't, by the way.
No,
they weren't.
Let me tell you this. I'll tell you off the air. I don't
They
want-
weren't. They weren't. I just want to know that was just a dig.
I lost my train of thought.
I'd like to go.
As far as, I think, like I said, it'd be fun, I think, to rent a suite there for a day and do some interviews
Yeah,
with
why not?
someone like a Funk or something like that. We could, and I love Las Vegas.
I've
so-
never been, so let's
You've
go.
never been to Las Vegas? You?
No.
Get out of town.
Moniz has been several times.
Oh, she'd be fun to go with. Then,
I'm sure
bet.
she would.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd bring her. All right, let's
Oh,
do
well,
it.
you know what? Look at that.
Done.
Imagine him and I in Las Vegas together, folks.
With Moniz.
With Moniz.
Whoa!
She'll get all the attention, though.
I hope so.
She'll get all the attention.
Uh-oh, wow.
As long as no one's showing up at 9:30 with birthday cakes. All right, anyway, and we also want to send our best wishes to my Thursday night partner in crime, Marty Jannetty. As you know, he had, the pain the poor man has been through with his ankles being reconstructed, and he had a little bit more work done. And Johnny, you should see the scar. It almost goes from toe midway up the ankle. The good news is, once he is rehabbed, he's going to be functional again.
Going back
And
in the ring?
I don't know if the doctor advised him not to, but knowing Marty, I have a feeling he's going to want to.
Don't do it. Don't do it, Marty. Marty, be smart. Manage, Marty, manage. That'd be a perfect spot for you. November 13th, Marty Jannetty in one corner and the mean, evil John Cena Sr. in the other.
Well, you know who he really has a great dislike for is
Who's
Tony. Another one. Tony called Marty a racist on several occasions, which Marty didn't particularly care for. And so the fans were clamoring for almost a match between Marty and Tony.
Yeah, but then that would be a work. No,
This
that
wasn't-
Would be,
this is-
that'd be a shoot, baby. Yeah, and the match would definitely be a shoot.
Yeah, there's a
Atlas
lot.
would knock him out.
You think Atlas would take Marty quick?
I think. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Don't mess with Tony Atlas. Let me tell you right now. There's a side to that gentleman, and I mean gentleman.
And I've seen it.
You don't want to ruffle, and when you do, get out of the way.
I just hope, Johnny, you know what? Maybe you call me a fool on Christmas Eve, but I still hope there's, as they say, where there's a will, there's a way, that Tony at some point will join us back in this studio again.
That's up to Mr. Atlas. I respect his decision, whatever he's made. There's got to be a reason behind it. I wish that reason would be made public to you, obviously, between you and
After I was bashed publicly with lies, with the I only make $55 nonsense, which I didn't appreciate. But you know what? Again, I don't know how much of that came, because it never came from Tony Atlas's lips. It was written on a Facebook page. I don't know.
By whom?
Whoever his Facebook associates are up in Maine. I've been told by those within the business that he has and I don't know the man, so I'm not going to call him out.
Don't
I'm
make
not
any
going to say
names.
anything negative, but I'm told he has someone up there helping him with Facebook, and they think because they have the internet now, they're going to become millionaires, as if everyone that has the internet in 2021 is a millionaire. But I can't control that. I can only control what I do. All I know is that you know what? I extended the olive branch to Tony twice. Whatever he decides to do is what he decides to do. I just think I deserved a better fate than what I got. Because the one good thing, it used to embarrass me, Johnny, on camera when he'd say, oh, Dan Morella is always the first one to open his wallet and help me out if I'm short with my mortgage. And, I had done things for him that I didn't exactly do because I wanted him to say it on the talk show, but he said it on the talk show. But you want to know something now?
Let's not bring that public.
I'm glad he did it now, just because of all the negative things that he's had to say. He looks like an idiot. You know what I mean?
But let's not bring it public. Look, that's business. That's behind the curtain.
Well, no, what I'm saying is he said it on the talk show.
Yeah, but we don't want to. We don't want to get
Well,
down
that's
to
not
that
behind
level.
the curtain, though, is my point.
Let's not get down to that level.
All right,
Let's keep Tony Atlas at the level I like him at, as a gentleman, as a scholar, with an opinion. And regardless,
And people loved his opinions.
right, regardless of what's happening between you and he, I think that whatever's happened, it's somebody's decision, his, not yours. And I think that if it's going to, and you know what? I'm a believer in life. I don't chase the train. It's going to come back to the station. It's going to come back. If it doesn't,
I like that phrase.
we find another track. So, you know what? God bless you, my brother. I think the world of them. We've all got things we're not proud of. We all make mistakes in life. We've all said things we're sorry for. Let's move on. The fans want to hear from Dan Marty and John Cena about the depths of professional wrestling, in my opinion.
Well, I tell you this, we hope that both the fruit of your loins and Tony had a very happy birthday, because they share it. I don't know if you knew that.
They did, yep.
Oh, you did know that, okay.
Yes, I did, and I know this, that my son had a very happy birthday. His
I
wife,
gotta ask, oh, no, I'm sorry, go ahead.
his wife put together a little video. We all sent something happy birthday to him.
You showed me that.
Yep, I did a little rhyme for him.
You were the rapper.
I'm the guy, I guess, but you know how it is.
I'm going to ask a personal question, Johnny, and you know I usually don't. I try to avoid those.
If I
types
can
of
answer
things.
it, I will.
But it's interesting. What does one get for a child that makes 8 figures a year for a birthday gift?
And my answer is nothing.
You get.
You know what I give my son? And I'm going to tell you, every year,
You gave him nothing. I love it.
every year,
Yeah.
I give my son the same gift, the gift that cannot be bought, the gift that has no price. I give you my love, and I give you the fact that I'm proud to call you son. That's it. What else do you do? You give him cigars, he enjoys cigars. You give him golf balls, he plays golf. I mean, what do you do? How do you do this? So I think there's probably an internal agreement that, you know what, take care of my other 4 brothers. I'm okay. And
But I think that's really nice. I just think it was kind of
thing
funny
for
the way you
Christmas.
worded it. Yeah.
Well, but you know, you get him nothing. What do you get him? Nothing. You can't.
I bet that video meant a lot to him.
It was, and the little rap, I just kind of thought that up on the spot. Moniz did the video. I sent it out to his wife, Shay. And, you know, I guess the videos were well received. My granddaughters each did one. My daughter-in-law, my sons, they each sent one out to him. So it was kind of fun. I don't know if Sean participated, but it was a great thing. She's a great person. They're having a great life together. God bless them. He's busy. He's working. His 2 books just came out.
He has another book out?
2.
What's the newest one?
One is on building oneself up, and the other one is on business, his comments
I didn't. You know what? I didn't even know that. If I forget,
Barnes
text
and Noble,
me that.
Barnes and Nobles carries it. I should bring in copies of Elbow Grease. I have them
Yeah,
autographed.
you know, I know. Gosh, the problem is, Johnny, there's so many projects I want to dive into. There's just never enough hours in the day. I don't think the fans realize this, and I'm not trying to Barry Horowitz and pat myself on the back, but I generally am here in this studio 7 days a week from about 10 to 8. I mean,
God bless you.
that adds up. You know what I mean?
God bless you,
There's
but-
only so many hours in the week for
Yep.
one.
I haven't had even a chance to look at the 2 books. They call me from Barnes and Noble.
How new are they?
Brand new. They just came out in April. The first
Okay.
week in April.
Well, I'm going to Google it and try and get some information, and if we can publicize it on the show, why not?
Yeah,
if
I'd
they
like
have
to
a commercial,
put it
I'd be
over.
happy to play it.
Elbow Grease was the #1 bestseller on the New York Times bestseller
Justin
list.
actually has that one. He should have brought it down for an autograph.
It's a New York Times
Yeah.
bestseller. So I have all 3 of those. There's also some reader books that go with the Elbow Grease, an activity book, and the other 2 books that just came out. I meet a lot of the couples. I'm a JP. So if you're looking to have a wedding, Johnny Fab, I just met a couple.
Then I'll be the ring bearer.
Yeah, there you go. I do a lot of weddings. And I was just over there. I use Barnes & Noble, the coffee shop there, to meet couples with. And the young lady told me she had set the table up, and there were the 2 books.
Oh, wow.
It was funny because I'm talking to this couple, and there was a young lady sitting across from us, and she's reading the books. And I said, did you enjoy the books? She said, they're really, really good. I said, well, I'll tell my son you said that. And it was like, really? It's really interesting. And they just brief
Now, did they
sayings or
know that you were
comments.
his dad?
I don't.
Oh, they had no idea? Even with well, I guess the name might give it away, but...
Well, they think you think that John Cena is going to be marrying you. Then they meet me and they go, shit, wrong guy. So, and that's not true.
No, I
John
know.
Cena is a justice of the peace, by the way. I guess he's done a couple of weddings.
Your son?
Yep, he did a
Really?
wedding.
I
Yep.
had no idea.
Yep, he said I'm on the same page as you. I've
Now,
done a couple-
how does, out of curiosity, how does one become a justice of the peace?
Well, you have to apply to the Commonwealth Secretary of State's office. You've got to get reference from attorneys and judges.
Really?
Right.
Wow.
And then in order to do marriages, you have to get a special, designation or recognition from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts that says that I, John J. Cena, am also authorized to solemnize marriages.
Now, do you have it memorized, what you have to say, or do you read from a book?
No, I meet with the couples, and what I do is, I've been doing this for almost 16 years. No 2 services are the same. I write a different service to fit the couple, and I've refused to marry some couples. I'm not ashamed to say that, but if you're not ready, then I'm not ready either.
If you don't think they're ready, you won't do it.
No, I won't.
Now,
I don't
just
do it
out of
for money.
curiosity, what got you interested, and even your son interested in wanting to do this? That's not something that the
I
average
think John
Joe...
did it because somebody asked him, and so he did it.
It takes a lot of work, though, I would imagine, to go through all that paperwork just to
Well-
get certified, no?
Yes, it does. And the funny part is that I would want to be justice for a long time. You have to wait for a vacancy in the municipality. Each
Oh, there's only X
municipality
amount that they
is
allow to do
Yeah,
it?
West Newbury allows 2.
Oh, really?
And what happened was
So you had to wait for someone to die,
Marge
or-
Peterson, who was the clerk, she left.
Oh.
Didn't gave it up. So I got a call from Sharon Pollard, who was mayor. She said, and I was working for her at that time, do you still want to be a justice? Yes. All right, fill this out. Senator Juga was there. He was very instrumental in helping me get what I needed to get done. So I'm the 2nd justice in West Newbury. So you just can't say I want to be a justice. Maine, I don't know how they work up there. I also...
do you have to be authorized in every state to do it? Can
No,
you
what
only do it
happens
in
is,
Massachusetts?
No, I only have jurisdiction in Massachusetts. If I go to New Hampshire, I have to get a 1-day license.
Wow.
That's $25. If you go to
So
Maine,
they charge you $25?
it's $100 in Maine to get a license up there. If you do marriages in Rhode Island, there's no charge for it, but it has to go to the House and the Senate. You actually sign the marriage license with a Senate number. Yeah, it has to be.
Wow.
Yeah, so you have to get a politician to get that through.
Jeez.
Or you can do the easy thing. The Rock's done it. the late night show did it. Universal Life Church, you can be ordained through them, and you're now a reverend. So you now can go, for example, in Maine, because I'm ordained, you can just go up there and use that designation as a clergyman, clergy, use your home address, and then
Now, how do you become a reverend?
we'll talk about that offline if you like.
Honestly, I'm actually interested.
All right, I'll do that. I'll do
Maybe
that.
I don't know how interesting of a topic as it is to the fans on a wrestling show, but you've had a very interesting life over there.
I've
you
done
know
a
that?
lot.
You've
God
had a
has-
very interesting life.
God has been good to me, and I really mean that. God has been very good to me. Sometimes I don't know why, but somebody's looking out for me. So I've done a lot of things in my life.
How long have you been doing the weddings?
16 years.
Really? Oh, so right around the time you and I met, probably.
I think it was a year after I got my justice. I've been doing it for a long time because your designation is 7 years. So
It expires, you mean?
Yep,
Oh,
you have to get
I
it
see.
renewed. So 7, 14. I just renewed 7 more up. So it's about 16 years. It'll be 21 years when I renew again.
Wow.
And that'll be 7 years from the date I got it, which was in 2020.
But before we go back on the topic of why we're here, what got you interested in wanting to do it?
Well, nobody knows this, but a long time ago, I wanted to be a priest.
That you did tell me. I knew that.
Yep.
Much
So-
younger, though.
Yep. And I tried that, and apparently, it was a good calling, but wasn't in God's plans for me.
Your loins had too much fruit.
No, it just wasn't in God's plans for me. So that didn't work out, and there's a reason for everything.
Did you actually try to go to, is it seminary school?
yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
I
yeah,
see that part I didn't
yeah.
know.
So I moved on from that, and I always still have, about marriage. I take it very seriously with my divorce. That was a big shock after 34 years.
Wow, that was a long time.
So that's why I'm very cognizant or serious about the weddings that I do. I kind of joke, I do weddings and divorces, which I don't. Sometimes you wonder. But so I always held that interest, and I wanted to know what more I could do. So the JP solved that issue. A lot of weddings that I do, the couples will contact me afterwards and ask if I can baptize their child.
You do baptisms too?
I won't do
Oh,
it.
you can or you won't?
Universal Life Church allows you to do that. It allows you to do funerals. The problem with that is there's no established churches for Universal Life Church unless I choose to start one or you choose to start one. So you fill out the baptismal records, you fill everything out. Which church will recognize it? There isn't one that'll recognize it.
So you really can't do anything with
No, I don't. I don't do them. I don't do them.
it. Do you do funerals?
I've done funerals.
Really?
Yes, I have. I've
Wow.
done several funerals. I've been asked by people, will you come and speak at the eulogy? Will you do the service at the funeral home? There's a fee for that, but I don't take it. I've never taken a fee for that.
Why? I've always wondered that. Why is there a fee? Is it just to cover transportation, or?
I don't know the answer. I do know that I did a friend's mother's funeral last year. I told him I wanted nothing for it, but I did receive a check for that.
What is the normal fee?
I don't know.
You don't even know?
Because I never
Oh, 'cause
take
you won't take it. Right, I
won't
see what
take
you
it.
mean.
I either give it back to the family, I have the family make a donation to Make-A-Wish, Shriners Burn Center, do whatever you got to do. But I don't take a fee. I do take a fee for the justice, but that fee is minimal. And it's not cheap, but it's minimal.
Interesting. I tell you, this guy. But before we go, Johnny, we talk about your biography. What about, I don't know if you've had a chance to see them yet. I think you and I both need to catch up on our on demand. But the A&E WWE biographies have been nothing short of a smashing success. We talk about the decline in popularity across Raw and SmackDown and such. But when it comes to the biography of these legends, it just shows that people, and I don't know why WWE Creative isn't going back into the network, but they love the 80s and 90s. Stone Cold Steve Austin's biography
Was the first.
highest rated show of any kind on A&E in 16 years.
Yep.
What does that say about the power of Stone Cold Steve Austin? And brother, I want the bottom line.
'cause Stone Cold says so. And that's the greatest guy. I tell you, now Roddy Piper, I missed that one. Hopefully I can catch that on demand. Who's up next?
As we're taping this, Macho Man is. By the time this episode airs, I'm not sure.
Yep,
But every Sunday night, I believe, at 8 o'clock, you
8
have
to
the
10.
biography. And then you have a program where Stephanie McMahon and Triple H and another WWE legend go searching for a lost wrestling artifact.
It
I
was
guess.
Undertaker.
It's
He was
different every week.
Searching for the original urn.
Is that what? That's right. I did hear about
Yep,
that.
searching
I
for the
wonder who
original
had it.
urn. Yep. Very, very classy. Done very, very well. Paul and Stephanie do a great job at it. And then the series itself, unbelievable. You got to see it. It's the best 2 hours you can spend.
Well, you know what? I got to catch up. My problem is, you want to know what my problem is, Johnny? I'm here 10 to 8. Then I go home. I usually have something to eat. I moderate the premieres of our shows online. I get ready to do a little prep work for the next day, and I go to bed. I haven't, outside of watching a few baseball games, I haven't watched a movie or a TV show in, I couldn't tell you when.
Well,
And you know me, I'm a big movie aficionado. I love to go to the movies. I have that monthly AMC Stubs, I think it's called, which gives you, for $20 a month, you can go and see 12 movies,
well,
up
the show,
to 12
the movie
movies.
theater's all yours.
I haven't been to the movie. I think the last one I saw was Aliens when it came out, not
Yeah. Well, now there's
originally
only
back
10
in the
people
80s.
there.
But
Well,
oh,
Fast and Furious 9 is out. It's going to come out. Can't wait
And
to
John's
see that.
in that one, right?
I've seen the preview of that. I'm really, I tell you, boy, the kid makes a good bad guy. It's going to be interesting to see the
now,
outcome.
he plays the brother of
Van Diesel. He's
Van
going to kill him.
That's right.
He's out to kill Van Diesel. And then Suicide Squad obviously is coming out. And then the spin-off of that is HBO picked up Peacemaker as a series. So I'm interested in those.
Peacemaker.
Yep,
Now,
that's
what
his
kind of a
character.
piece?
That's his character.
Oh, that's his. That's the character. That's
And
John's
Suicide Squad.
character's name. Oh,
And
all right.
HBO picked that up, so there's a spin-off. I can't wait to see the Suicide Squad. I've got the trailer for that. That is unbelievable. This guy's got an arsenal, they say, and Cena's got everything for him, flying cars, the whole bit. Van Diesel just, how do you want it done? And Van Diesel says, Fast and Furious. It's great. It's going to be good. I don't know who's going to end up winning, but
The ride at Universal's a lot of fun. I don't know if you've ever been on it. Have you been on it? It's kind of new.
I was on that ride 3 years ago.
Oh, so you were on it.
Unless
Okay.
it's changed.
There was a long dramatic
All
pause
I'm
there
going
for
to
a
tell
minute.
you this.
All right, let's hear it.
And I'm going to be right up front. That ride is like a lollipop. It sucks.
You didn't like it.
That is the worst.
Why is that?
Oh, come on. Well, you get on the bus and then please. You
They
know,
got all the partying going on, all the
please.
dances. I know all those
my
women.
God.
All the women wanted to dance with
Oh,
you.
my
We won't
God.
tell Moniece.
When
but
I get off that ride, everybody said the same thing. You got to be kidding me.
Really?
You expect more from that ride, more of an adventure ride.
I think
more
maybe
of
it could be a
band
little
ride.
longer.
Not even that. It's got to be Fast and Furious.
It wasn't
isn't.
fast enough.
No, it's
Was it
please.
Furious?
And I waited that long to get in. Come on.
You got to go with me. I get the ADA pass.
No, you can do the single line too. It's just as fast. It's not good. No.
Have you been back since they opened the Kong ride at
Yes,
Universal?
I have, and I don't think much of that either.
Really? Now,
Yes.
why is that?
The old Kong ride.
Oh, that was a classic.
There-
when you went through
there-
the New York City subway?
Thank you. When they created this Kong ride, I said it's got to be out of this world because it's 4D. You're in the jungle. It's got to be the bomb. It was the bomb. It just doesn't do it.
It was like AEW's
It-
landmine
yeah,
match. Now,
yeah.
see, I like that one, too. Maybe I'm easy to impress.
Well, you know what? I got to tell you something. You got to get your shit together because those two rides, Kong was okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, maybe a 5. On Fast and Furious, on a scale of 1 to 10, there's got to be a 0 somewhere.
Wow. Let me ask you this, Johnny. Are you a roller coaster guy?
I used to be. I still am.
Really?
See,
I won't get on them.
Well, the only coaster I'll do there is the Hulk.
You like the Hulk?
You better have your Depends ready. And then the other roller coaster that I went on once, is when you get over to the Universal side, they have that roller coaster that goes straight up and straight down.
Is it the zip?
and it never really makes a loop.
That red
but it's
one?
the long, yeah, once. I'm telling you, once is all you're going to do it. And you're going to need a box of Depends when you do that.
I will, unless the children's lives are on the line, I will never go on a roller coaster.
No.
I just,
But
I don't
do the
have it
Hulk,
in me.
it's great.
No, I just,
Oh, it's
I
great.
remember the first time I took Linda and the oldest one, 2003 you're talking now, they coerced me into going on the Goofy Kids coaster at Disney World. And I mean, it was only about 2 feet off the ground.
Oh,
but
Debbie, come on,
it was too much. I can't deal with those dips, and I like the cinemated, I said that wrong, the simulated 3D, 4D type rides.
like
Those
The
are
Simpsons?
fun. Yeah, the
Yeah,
pretend ones I can deal with.
Spider-Man, yeah.
The real ones,
Well, you got to try the Hulk.
no, never.
I'll do it.
Never.
I'll do it.
Never.
Moniz,
Never.
Moniz is, I'm trying to see if I can book Halloween Horror Nights.
We got to go this year.
I'm going down for,
I have
hopefully I'll
never
have the money.
been.
4 days,
You'll have the
3
money.
nights, that'll be it.
That's it?
Yep. And
Now,
I-
how many nights does one need to go through Halloween Horror Nights?
1.
You can do the whole,
Get the RIP pass, and you
not
stop.
the VIP.
No, rest in peace. And you get together with a group of 12 or 14 people. You do all haunted houses in one night. You get in. There are people who've been waiting hours to get in. You go around the back and you get through all the haunted houses. You get 2 special rides this year. Last 2 years ago, they didn't have that, so we got a buffet.
Oh, wow.
Usually got 2 free shows, but this time they did a light show. Was really well done. This is their 30th anniversary of 50th.
they had to skip.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna be one hell of a night.
For the average person, if they just bought a regular ticket, would it be tough to do everything?
Oh, you'll be waiting 2 to 3 hours to get in those haunted houses.
Really? Even with my little pass they give me, that might be tough too.
You would be standing there waiting to get in. Let me tell you something.
So you'd advise at least the express or RIP pass.
Get the
as you call.
RIP. Go
How
over
much
it,
is an RIP?
I think it was $234.
On top of the regular admission?
Well, when you buy the package, you're already in.
Oh.
So you get your package. I get 3 days in the park. Then that RIP pass. You know, I kind of laughed when they said to pick that up. It's the best thing I ever did.
Really?
Yeah, the best thing I ever did. And it really, really, really makes Halloween Horror Nights worth it.
Sometimes if you're going to do it, you got to do it right.
Well,
You
I'm the
can
kind
go
of guy.
and stand in line all night. What are
I
you going
can't
to
stand
get?
there for an hour and a half, 2 hours. It's like get on a Harry Potter ride. I'm not waiting 3 hours to get on that ride. I'm sorry. I'm just not doing it. You know, that new bicycle ride they have with Harry Potter that I was in line with a former young lady, and we were waiting, and they said the wait was an hour and 20 minutes. I get halfway up, and I said, I'm going back. It's not worth it. Then I found out they had to shut the ride down because of the bees. The bees, it was loaded with bees.
The ride was loaded with
not
bees?
the ride, but when you went through
Oh, they were stinging
a
people?
lot of, yeah, they
Oh, my
shut the
God.
ride down several times. And I said, will you get rid of the bees? Can't, they're an endangered species. So I don't know how they handled that.
the
but
bee's knees.
Please, do the RIP, have some fun, enjoy Halloween Horror Nights. You can do the park yourself. One night you can do Universal, but I like 2 nights in the park. What I used to do is Halloween Horror Nights, go back in the second night, redo Halloween Horror Nights, but you know the haunted house is the hit. And it's great because the whole place is haunted. They close that side at 5, opens up at 6. When I got there, if you stay in the park, you get in early at 6. People have been waiting out there for hours. There was close to 1,500 people waiting to get in.
1,500? Oh, my God. Well, Johnny, you've given me some ideas now because I told you I really want to. I've never been.
Oh, yeah.
I am a Universal Pass holder, but I have never been to Halloween Horror Nights. I don't know why.
You will do it every year like I do.
All right. Well, folks,
No wrestling tonight.
well, we talked a little wrestling, but you know, we
Do a lot of cutting, Dan.
religion, amusement parks, and more. For my partner in crime, John Cena Sr., I'm Dan Marati. We will see you next Friday at 10 p.m. Don't forget, a whole slew of talk shows 7 days a week. Where else, Johnny, other than Vince, are they giving you content 7 days a week?
MWF?
The Premier Chat box is open. Share your thoughts on the show. If you're not watching live, share them in the comments section below. The Super Chat button is open during the premiere. Don't forget to tip the bartender. so we can keep the lights on. Please share the links to these talk shows across social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Reddit, on Facebook wrestling groups, wrestling websites. Tell a friend, tell an enemy. If they love pro wrestling, I think we are humble enough to say, Johnny, there's probably millions of fans that don't know our talk show series exists, but especially if they love 80s and 90s theme wrestling, I think they'll love us and stick with us. The growth we've had from 2020 to 2021 is tremendous. If you also want to help add to your wrestling man cave, the eBay store is open 24/7 around the globe.
I'm surprised that's still here.
The link is in the description box below. You get an on-air shout-out as a thank you for trying to help the show. And of course, if you don't just want to be a friend, if you don't just want to be a fan, if you want to be part of the Boston Wrestling MWF family, there's only one way to go, Johnny. For less than a cup of one of your coffees over there down at Starbucks, you get early ad-free access to Wrestling Insiders, access to our acclaimed studio shoot interview DVD library, as seen by millions online and millions more on The Howard Stern Show. You get Patreon exclusives and perks, and the knowledge that you, yes you, your handsome self or lovely self if you are a lady, you are helping keep professional wrestling legends working during the worst of times. Head on over to patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. You'll have the wrestling time of your life, hundreds and hundreds of studio shoot interviews for you to enjoy. Again, patreon.com/Johnny, patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. I guess Johnny Wrestling would be Johnny Gargano. I don't want to confuse the two of you.
Okay.
Even though back in your prime, I understood under a mask, you wrestled a lot like Johnny Gargano. You were like Mil Mascaras of Boston. All right. All right, for Johnny, I'm Dan. We'll see you next Friday night. Be well.
The World Wrestling Federation was live with the WrestleMania Revenge Tour at the Palace of Auburn Hills in Auburn Hills, Michigan, Saturday, May the 21st, 1994. In the opening contest, Quang beat Sparky Plug. WWF Tag Team Champions, the Head Shrinkers, and AFA with the win over the Quebecers and Johnny Polo. WWF Women's Champion Alundra Blaze retained the title over Luna Vachon. Lex Luger defeated Crush. Jeff Jarrett victorious over Doink the Clown. Razor Ramon battled WWF Intercontinental Champion Diesel to a double countout. Mabel beat Bam Bam Bigelow. And in the main event, WWF World Champion Bret Hitman Hart retained the title over Owen Hart. If you were in Auburn Hills Live, share your memories in the comments section below. Use the links in the description box to keep wrestling legends working in our eBay store and on our world-renowned Patreon streaming service so we can bring you more interactive superstar shoot interviews to relive the good old days of professional wrestling. Check it out. Boston Wrestling Sports in the MWF explodes into a new year with professional wrestling content galore and need you to join our family. Every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. after our Monday Night Raw review, it's Wrestling Insiders at your house with WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas. Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. after NXT and AEW, join rotating legends on Wrestling Insiders Special Edition. Every Thursday night at 10 p.m. after our NXT and Dynamite review, it's Marty Jannetty's no-holds-barred sex, drugs, and rock and roll journey on Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty. Friday night after SmackDown, don't miss John Cena Sr.'s Wrestling Insiders Fabulous Fridays. Plus, look for classic clips, history videos, bonus live episodes, pay-per-view watch-alongs, and more. For less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks, get early ad-free access to our Wrestling Insider talk shows, our acclaimed studio shoot interview DVD library, and help keep wrestling legends working during the worst of times. Join our growing family at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. Expect the unexpected in 2021.